one of our most valued members of the brand, one of our most distinguished members of the brand, Tone, had to retire because of his new job that he received. He can no longer be affiliated with a gambling program, so he had to retire. But we could not thank him enough for all that he has done for the brand, all he's done for the program. He's given us memories that we will always remember.
I had no idea.
Yeah, memories. No, he had to retire.
I had no
memories
idea.
montage right now.
Yeah, we'll throw on some clips of Tone. Shout out Tone. Thank you, Tone. We wish you the best with your new job.
Thank you, 87.
Rest in peace, Tony.
Shout out Tone for all you did.
A personal favorite of mine, I'm gonna go with the Little Debbie's oatmeal pies.
Such an old.
Nothing.
It's very old-fashioned. But
It's
very
very. You can't mess up a Little Debbie's oatmeal pie.
It's very good. It's very good.
It's like what my 80-year-old grandpa gets at the gas station.
I mean, yeah, I just go to the gas station, to get a big sleeve of chocolate covered donuts. Because that's what I just want all over my face when I'm driving, And then when I get out of the car, I got all the chocolate all over my shirt. I'm like, oh, where'd this chocolate come from? It's from the donuts I ate at the gas station.
And Snickers.
Yeah, let me get some more chocolate.
Shout out those of you who were in the rankings kind of lower, who benefited from Tone having been taken out of the rankings.
Real. Yep. Dude, talk about my come up.
Your come up, Sam's come up.
I'm not in last.
Let's go.
I'm not in last anymore, guys.
Sean's not in last for the first time in basically 11 weeks, I think. He's still in last, but he's tied in last now. So, Sandy, you gotta go. Probably, you can't see your face at all when you do that.
So no hat.
You could go higher up on your head or backwards.
Maybe we're twinning backwards hats.
There you go.
How about that? Me and you. Look at you. You still have a bean top? Or... God. You ever gonna grow it out, man?
You look like Eminem.
I look better like this, in my opinion.
You know? Well, whatever your girlfriend thinks, right?
Yeah. Hey,
remember
whatever your girlfriend thinks. Oh, wait.
Still in the worst.
Sean, how you feeling, man?
You feeling talkative
Sean's
today?
got that whole couch to himself. Sean, are you taking the shirt off?
Pointing towards
Yeah, dude, take your shirt off.
Take your shirt off.
We're going tarps off.
I don't really like this slate, so...
This slate is beautiful.
This is a beautiful slate.
It's pretty murky.
This thing was tough.
This is a good slate if you're a good gambler. Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs show. This is the Week 7 NFL show.
Oh, my bad. I don't know what I'm
Jump the gun.
All right, yeah. Sandy jumps the gun.
I got excited.
Shout out, Sandy.
Full barn here in studio today. Postman, Coby, Sean, Sandy, Jake, Seamus, me, and on Zoom, Scott, Sam. You guys didn't make any noise, so the camera didn't cut to you.
Oh, well, we acted it out. Making noise now. Here we are.
There you go. All right. Game one on the slate here. Highly debated game on the slate here. Was it going to be on the slate? Was it not going to be on the slate? The Boys Upstairs show may have cursed the Miami Dolphins single-handedly. Every game that we've picked on the slate this year, I think the Dolphins have lost that we've talked about.
Wow.
Maybe one they haven't. But either way, Dolphins, Patriots, minus 2.5. Total's 42.5. On this couch, we have a Dolphins fan, Postman, Patriots fan, Coby. We'll let them start us off. Go ahead, Postman.
Let me start out by saying that it's not a maybe. The Boys Upstairs has single-handedly cursed the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take the over.
Ooh.
A surprise. And maybe that'll be the inspiration that we need, because everything else we do sucks. Over 42.5. Give me Teddy B.
2 or 3 straight picks on 3 straight possessions, and he's not even playing, and they're going...
He was concussed!
They're going to the guy who backs him up. So the guy who threw 3 picks on 3 straight possessions, his understudy, the one that's slightly worse than him, is who's starting. The Dolphins are on a 4-game losing streak. The Patriots need to win out to make the playoffs. I think that the Patriots are just going to have to do all they can. Hopefully, they're in a win-now mode. Belichick is going to let Mac throw the ball down the field, or hopefully they'll put in Zap. But I'm also going to take the under. I mean, Teddy B's not putting up no points. We haven't put up points since Tom Brady was on the team. So I'm looking at an under. It's in Foxborough, so Patriots are going to win this game and then hopefully go to Buffalo.
Just throwing this out there. He did throw 3 picks in 3 straight possessions, and he still leads the league in QBR.
Sick, man. He's not playing this
That's why
weekend, so
QBR is overrated.
Yeah.
And that's why Patrick
He's
Sweat
also
is
not playing.
He also
Who
missed
gives a
4
shit?
games, so there's context. Like
3 games. And
Crazy.
it also shows how good he was when he played, so.
Yes. And
Again,
Packers
not
Sweat.
playing this weekend, so who cares?
yeah, like Sandy just said, Tua is out, Teddy B is in. I'll just jump in here, taking the under. Don't think points will be scored. It's also going to be freezing.
Yep.
In New England in December. Going to be cold. Give me the under. Both these teams, especially with Teddy B in, are not going to be able to score under 42.5.
And that's why they will score.
I'm gonna hop in right after Tommy here, just because my pick is the exact same. I agree with what you said about the Dolphins. I feel like every game we've picked, they've lost, but at the same time, every game for them we've picked has been like a wacky spread of some sorts, and they've lost 4 or 5 straight now.
4.
The fact that Mike McDaniel will literally risk his entire career just to get fucking Tua Tagovailoa to play is kind of embarrassing because Tua is not that good. Sorry, Postman.
That's blasphemous.
I honestly trust Teddy Bridgewater maybe more than Tua right now after that last game. That being said, it is Teddy Bridgewater versus Mac Jones, so I'm taking the under because there's no shot either of those two put up 20-plus points.
Just to throw this
I'm
in
going to
there.
come in right behind you there, man, because I'm going to take the under 42 as well. Sorry, I think someone in the studio was ready to chirp up there, but I'm going to just quickly get in there. Under 42, I like it. Pat's offense is just so ugly right now. The run game used to be a strong point. Ramondre Stevenson at 30 yards in his last game. He's struggling with the balls as well, as Coby mentioned, with ball protection. So I'm not really buying into this Pat's offense, and I don't even know if Mac Jones is the guy. Sam said that he compared Tua and Mac Jones and stuff like that. I'm going to take Teddy Bridgewater over Mac Jones right now. I actually would do that because I just not seen anything from Mac Jones that I've liked this season. So I do like the under. Foxborough, a very tough place to go and play, but I'm going to actually take the Finns plus 2.5 just to shake it up a bit because, like Sam said, they do have a lot of weapons. Waddle, Tyreek, they can get the job done. Raheem Mostert too. Let's see what they've got. But Matt Patricia, serious questions got to be asked about that offense with him. So yeah, let's see what the Finns got. Postman, I'm not all out on them just yet, man. So have a bit of faith.
The one thing I'll say is you can shit on Tua all you want. I'll take it. Do not be shitting on Mike McDaniel for putting Tua out there. Mike McDaniel is the one who put Tua in concussion protocol on Monday. So don't be going out there and slandering his name. You can slander Tua for wanting to play through his concussions, but Mike McDaniel's the one who's looking out for his quarterback and put him in concussion protocol.
Hey, it's the last thing I wanted to do. He was my pick for Coach of the Year.
Well, then don't be making up shit.
Yeah, our pick. The last thing, it's not that book. The last thing I want is to throw him under the bus. But I mean, Tua nearly dies on the football field, and then all of a sudden, because he watched McGruber on the plane, everything's okay with Mike McDaniel, and it's just
He
like...
doesn't make the calls. He's not a
give the guy
doctor.
rest.
He's a head coach.
I feel like every time Tua's in a situation like this, which has been 3 times this year, which is a pretty ugly scene to begin with, that Mike McDaniel's been pushing him and telling him, oh, it's all okay. No, dude, it's really not. Your quarterback has had 3 concussions in the span of not even 6 months, and that is a big deal for anybody in the world. I don't care who you are.
I mean, he's not a doctor. He's a head coach. If the doctors who are trained medical professionals in particularly concussions tell him that Tua is safe to play, who is he to tell the doctors that they're wrong and not put him out there?
Holy shit, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I'm actually going to fucking lose.
You can't just be slandering my
I mean, that's terrible.
Can Sandy pick
You
a
like
winner?
this game?
Can I pick my winner?
Yeah.
Alright, so a lot of factors going into this. Mike McDaniel's great head coach, Yale grad, Yale football grad. Yep,
I didn't know.
yep, he's a guy.
He played football?
He played football, receiver at Yale. So good guy, smart guy, knows
Did you
what
know
he's
he's black?
Okay.
Dude, I compensatory pick for him.
Nice.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
When I was doing my project for minority head coaches in the NFL, he's technically mixed.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
Didn't know that.
That's good for the brand.
Anyways.
However, they're 0-4 in cold temperature. It's in Foxborough. Tua turned the ball over. He's not even playing. So love Teddy Two Gloves, but no, I'm definitely picking the Patriots to win. No spread because gambling's illegal.
Yep.
The Dolphins have to realize they're on a slippery slope into missing the playoffs, and it's creeping up on them. And I think they're getting a little scared. And I think this is a game that they really should win. I got a feel for Tua. Me myself being a concussion-prone individual, I know what it's like having 3 concussions. It's scary. But other than that, I'm gonna go with the Patriots because I need the Dolphins to lose. So
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
See,
Yeah.
so it seems everyone's piling more on the Dolphins than the Patriots, and I'm glad that Coby talked about it a little bit. I think the Patriots are broken too, with the play against the Raiders and last week against the Bengals. It was there for the taking, they blew it. However, I trust Bill Belichick more than Mike McDaniel, cold weather. Give me the Patriots, give me the under. I think it's going to be a very gritty, grimy game. 2017, something like that, and the Patriots will be victorious.
I'm changing my pick. Dolphins plus 2.5.
All right. He's heard all his music.
I heard all I needed
And
here.
that's the crazy.
I just needed us to jab him enough time.
That's all I needed. Dolphins plus 2.5. Give it to me.
Obviously, Postman's hammered after one beer.
One light year.
One light beer.
We've seen that story before. All right, games on the slate here. Vikings, 12-3, right?
Guess your pop.
12-3. Traveling to Lambeau. Packers are what? 8-9.
They're 7-8.
7-8. Sorry. 7-8 versus 12-3. However, the spread is a little surprising. Packers are favored -3 at home against the Vikings. We will go to Jake. Dogs.
Wait.
Y'all are dogs?
Wait, hold on. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Vikings +3 is plus money on FanDuel, right?
What?
What a life,
They're
boys.
a 5
Listen.
better win team than the
Listen.
Packers.
11-0 in one-score games. Greatest comeback in the history of the sport.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
And the one team they blew out was the Packers in week 1. And the Packers, everyone's going to run the table. Aaron Rodgers fooled you once, fooled you twice. He's going to run. Okay, they beat the Bears. The Bears are arguably the worst team in the league. They beat the Rams. They beat Baker Mayfield.
Don't say it.
That's not very hard.
So
And
unnecessary.
then they beat the Dolphins. And then they beat the Dolphins when Tua collapsed in the fourth quarter.
They beat the Bears like 3 weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying. That's their win streak. It's when it started. Yeah, okay, so the Packers' huge turn of momentum happened when they beat the Bears. Okay, great. Listen, the Vikings are a much better team. They're going to be in the NFC Championship game, maybe a game past that, too. Just wait for the playoffs.
Hold your horses
Get
there,
really
bro.
crazy here. And I know everyone's saying that they're going to collapse. They just win one-score games. They can't get too comfortable like that. Listen, when you win 11 games by one score, it's just who our identity is. Kirk Cousins is comfortable. And I'm just going to say this, and I don't want to spark a debate. Justin Jefferson's not going to win the MVP, but he should. Especially if he breaks the record, which he probably will, because I think they're going to force feed him targets over the next 2 weeks. Give me Minnesota, give me the under. That's all I got to say.
This game is at 4:25.
Yes, it is.
We all know what that means. I'll also just throw this stat
That's
out
not
there.
prime time.
Well, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I don't have it here, but we said a couple weeks ago his stat in the 4:25 games is really bad too. So either way, here's my better stat that you might have seen. Lowest point margin for a team 12-3 or better through 15 games since the merger.
What, they're
2020,
plus 5?
2022 Vikings 12-3. They're +5
Plus
point
5.
differential.
Yeah.
Next, 2016 Raiders 12-3 +49. That's wild.
That was.
Well, listen,
Dude, I forgot about that Raiders team.
Well, listen,
That was
you
Derek
got to
Carr.
understand that the Cowboys blowout is just like an outlier that draws. Like if you take that game, so if the Cowboys won by a point, then we're plus whatever. Like
You're not.
it's a little bit better. So
They
that
get
game,
blown out.
so that
Kobe should've
game's
won.
just
Kobe
out.
should've
They're not. Yeah.
That's football.
Sam, I
Less
don't want.
losses.
Hey,
Either
put
way, though.
Sam on mute. I don't want to hear him speak. For this
Either
one.
way, though, my pick for this game, under 47.5. I don't want to pick a side because I don't like this spread. It's a trap spread, definition of a trap spread. The Vikings are a better team, but all year I've said they're going to implode at some point. It seems like this might be the perfect time for that to happen. I will say my original prediction of they're going to lose first round to the Commanders, I no longer stand with that prediction because they benched Heineke for Carson Wentz. So
I agree. Fucking terrible decision.
that was a bad decision, so I don't support them.
I think he hurt his knee.
I mean, but they benched him, though.
Oh, like next game?
Yeah, it was benched. He was benched. It's bullshit.
So I'm
Wentz sucks.
pretty sad about that. Shout out Heineke. His jersey's right there.
Shout out Heineke. I love Heineke.
You had a great year for what it was.
It's 5-3. Why are they
5-3, and
won.
they sucked before he came in, gave him life, and whatever. That's because they don't want to pay a backup quarterback
The
$33
Lions are
million.
probably going to get that spot. Do you think? Are the Commanders going to?
Might be the Giants, might be the Seahawks.
No, I think the
Giants are winning
5
in.
seed. So the Commanders are
What?
6.
Giants are winning in.
I know, but he's saying who you think the Vikings will play.
Who's gonna? It's gonna be the Seahawks or the Lions probably.
I
Unless
mean,
the Pat, because like even
you
if
you guys lost to the Lions?
like and
You did,
we
you did.
beat them when they played in Minnesota.
Yeah, they
earlier in the year. No, here's the deal. So even if the Packers win, the Packers still need a lot of help to get into the 6th seed. So them in the playoffs.
the Commanders to lose.
Yeah, or the Giants to lose out. It's still a long shot.
But yeah, under 47.5, don't want to take a side. This is going to be a cold game, Lambeau Field. And it's also prime time, kind of Kirk Cousins, so under 47.5.
Alright, I'm gonna give my thoughts here. So a couple weeks ago on this very show, we had a game. It was Vikings-Lions. Lions were favored, I believe.
Yes.
And everyone said, why are the Lions favored? This makes no sense. The Vikings are such a better team, da-da-da. And I said it last show, not last show, but when the Lions-Vikings game happened, I'll say it now. Vegas is part of the Illuminati. There is no reason that they would make this spread unless it meant something. I picked the Lions last time because it made no sense. I'm picking the Packers this time. However, I do think the Vikings are a good team. I think the 11-0 and one-score games means something. You have to be able to win close games. I do think they can make a playoff run. But in this game, I'm taking the Packers -3. There's no reason that a team with 5 less wins, who's barely fighting for the playoffs, should be favored in this game. And that's exactly why they're going to cover the spread. I'm also taking the under. The Packers did get blown out by the Vikings. However, Christian Watson dropped his first ever career 75-yard wide open touchdown.
Yeah.
Butt naked, 20 yards away from the defender. He was in a different zip code than the
He
nearest
burned
defender.
Patrick Peterson on that.
He-
play.
he
That
was- He was in a different zip code than
Kinda
Patrick
nerve-wracking.
Peterson. So the Packers have gelled since then. They've gained chemistry. Aaron Rodgers has learned who he can trust, who he can't. Christian Watson is starting to play crazy better than he was in the first half of the season. So I think the Packers got this one. The Vikings are definitely a better team, but in this specific game, I have the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, every year, December to the end of the regular season, he plays amazing, and then as soon as they hit the 49ers in the playoffs, it all goes away.
That's true.
And I'm taking the under. I don't think this is going to be the highest scoring game. This might be one of those two decent offenses. Well, one really good offense, one decent offense. They're both going to struggle. I think it's going to be a low scoring game, and I'm taking the Packers and the under.
I'm gonna piggyback.
Sam, shut up! Sam, shut up!
Sam.
Everything that Coby just said makes perfect sense. The Vegas is the Illuminati. This spread makes no sense. And for that reason, I'm taking the Vikings. Give me Vikings +3. Let's go, Jay!
Thank you, Postman.
If Postman's on your side, it's a bad pick.
No, it's a good pick this week. Positive energy. Come on.
I haven't been a fan of the way the Vikings have been playing football lately. It's been very pissy to watch. They play 3 quarters of shitty football. Justin Jefferson makes a fucking insane play, and then they go and somehow win the game. This week it took a 61-yard field goal. Against Buffalo, it took a Justin Jefferson one-hand catch that I don't think anyone in the world or history could have made. But I think that the J has to be up soon. And it pains me to say, but I'm going for the Packers here.
Sam, the classic saying is you play to win the game.
Thank you,
That's
Scott.
what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're
And you
finding a
bet
way
to win. And you bet to win money.
They bet
That's
to
what I'm
win
doing.
money, but they're also doing they're winning these games. They're not losing them. Yeah, I to say that their football's not been good, man. They put off probably 2 of the greatest victories we've seen the NFL seen this season. They're definitely up there, top 5.
What was the other one?
Well, they had like the 60-plus yarder field goal to win it.
Oh.
Like edge of your seat stuff when you're watching the Vikings. I've really enjoyed watching them this year, and I think Kirk Cousins, bit of respect on him, top 5 passer in the league right now. So I mean, you match him with Justin Jefferson, who's probably going to win Offensive Player of the Year. He should anyway. The respect, it's disrespectful in this game. As a Cowboys fan, I know all about disrespect. We get a lot of that. But Jake, I got your back here. Your Vikings are 12-3. They're a solid team this year, and they deserve a lot more respect coming into this one. Yes, Rodgers, come this time of the season, he does get hot. He starts slinging the ball and getting results. But I think this is the game where the little brother in the Vikings knocks off the big brother in the Packers. Sorry, and I think they win this one. I really, really do. So I'm going to go Vikings +3. I'm expecting a heavy run game because the Packers do have a top 3 passing defense. So expect Alvin Cook to have a good day But yeah, no, let's go Vikings. I don't see why there's a lot of hatred for them here. I think they've got a realistic shot in this one, and I was shocked when I saw the line. I think the Packers I think the bookies are way in over their heads on this one. Look, that's very, very, outlandish for me to say the bookies are over their heads, but I think the Vikings, we give them a shot in this one. You're not 12-3 out of luck. You're a good team if you're 12-3. It's hard to win these games, so let's see if they can make it.
Disagree. The Steelers went 11-0 in 2020, and they were bad.
For the most part,
Sam, just be quiet.
12-3. It's a good result.
Okay, for the most part.
All right, Sam, shut the
That
fuck up.
Steelers team was great. It's just Big Ben became a fossil.
It wasn't Big Ben's fault. It wasn't Big
Yeah,
Ben's
he was
fault.
drinking too much beer and watching too much.
Yeah,
No,
Big
not
Ben.
at that point. He was past that at that point.
Is there a problem with that though? Like, come on.
Big Ben became a
What do you
fossil.
do, Sandy?
So I
Drink
pick
beer,
winners.
beat your meat.
I pick winners. All right, relax. I pick winners, and obviously with Justin Jefferson winning everybody their fantasy league this year because of how fucking dominant he's been at the receiver position.
Not Sam.
Except for me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Sam sucks, so that makes sense. Couldn't be Sam. You couldn't give him the best fantasy player in the history of fantasy and still lose. But yeah, obviously I'm going to pick the Vikings because they're clearly the better team. They're on a heater. I don't know how they're going to do in the playoffs, but that's not the question here. That's not what the issue is here. But the issue is they're playing the Packers. A-Rod is washed with no weapons on that offense. The passing defense is pretty good, so I do agree with Scott. Dalvin Cook's going to have a day toting the rock. So yeah, the Vikings are definitely going to win this game.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, no, Scott moved me with his take. I was really hesitant because of the Lions, and I picked the Vikings that week. But yeah, no, I'm going to take the Vikings, and I'm going to take the under. And hopefully all that superstition is just not real.
Game 3 on the slate here. Monday Night Football. I didn't know this, but I saw this. The first time that Josh Allen and Joe Burrow have ever gone head-to-head.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy to think about, but when I think about it, I don't remember them ever playing each other.
I mean, Joe Burrow's really only played
1 year.
one full year.
So, Monday Night Football, Bills traveling to Cincinnati. Bills are favorites on the road. -1.5, total 49.5. We will go to Scott first.
Oh, what a cracker. This is an absolute cracker of a game. I'm looking
That's
forward
exactly
to this
what I was
one.
thinking.
Yeah, no.
Bills
Great word
are
choice.
second in the NFL in total yards. They get that offense moving. It's a joy to watch. But I'm going to say this, lads. I don't know if you've been thinking the same thing. Josh Allen is not looking at his best right now. Like he threw 2 interceptions last week and threw for 170 yards against the Bears. They were very dependent on the run game, which is great to see. It's great to see James Cook getting a few carries in there. He could be the future franchise running back. Who knows? But there's been times that I've watched Allen this season. I'm gone, I don't know if when push comes to shove in the playoffs, is he the guy to get it done? Look, I think he is, but he goes through many ups and downs. I'm not convinced right now with him, and I hope he figures it out. But on the other side of things, Joe Burrow is slinging that ball right now, second in passing in the NFL. Only Patrick Mahomes has more passing yards than him. 7 damn wins for a row for the Bengals this season. Like, that is incredible right now. Mad stat as well. Cincinnati have covered 20 of the last 23 games against the spread, including the postseason.
They're the best team against the spread this year.
This is what I'm saying, man. I'm all in on the Bengals +1.5, and I honestly believe that they have the best wide receiver trio in the NFL. I think that needs to be mentioned more. The weapons Joe Burrow can deal with right now, and in the run game too with Joe Mixon. We've seen it. They have the talent to get to the Super Bowl, and they've done it. But the issues last year with protection and the defense wasn't great. I'm still not convinced with their offensive line. It's a bit of a patchwork job, but it seems to be getting the job done so far. I do believe since you have enough talent to beat this Buffalo Bills team, so I'm going to go with Bengals +1.5. I'm not going to touch the total because, as I said earlier, Josh Allen, I don't know. I'm just a bit cautious of him right now. But yeah, let's go Cincy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Scott,
after. Oh, you got it, or?
Sam, shut up.
Alright.
I was gonna
Sam, are you gonna continue?
Zoom lives matter.
Are you just gonna continue to let them alpha you like this, Sam?
I'm not, and I'm going right now.
You will.
I didn't even hurt
You will,
you.
Scott.
I didn't even hurt
Sam,
you.
whatever.
Right now.
I can't wait till Sam's in town in a week and a half. This is gonna be awesome.
My pick's gonna be short here because this game's a fucking toss-up. I agree with what Scott said. I love Josh Allen, but he's been throwing a little too many picks lately. He's been turning the ball over a little too much. But if you think there's some secret formula, this team's gonna win because this and this, or the Bills are gonna win because of that, whatever, you're wrong. Okay, it's a pick'em. It's a 1.5. Basically a pick'em. It should be a pick'em. Both of these teams are very good. Both of these teams have had weak spots. Both of these teams have had strong spots, and they've differed varied week in, week out. So I'm just gonna go with the Bills because that's what my gut tells me. And if I said I had some kind of other expert analysis, I'd be lying.
Since week 6, Josh Allen's passer rating is 85.5, 26th in the league. He has 12 turnovers. That's the most in the league. 60.6 completion percentage. That's 30th in the league. 6.9 yards per completion. That's 21st. 227.7 yards per game. 12th. And 15 passing touchdowns, which is tied for 9th. This team is a very Josh Allen dependent team. And what happens when you can't depend on Josh Allen? Everything goes to hell. They have no run game. They have a mediocre offensive line to bad. Their defense is all right. When you cannot depend on Josh Allen, this team crumbles. The two best players on the team, Josh Allen, who they depend on, who has been terrible since week 6, and Stephon Diggs, who can only succeed unless Josh Allen succeeds in his play as well. So
and
I thought
Von Miller, who's hurt.
And Von Miller, who has not played in weeks.
He's done for the year.
Exactly. So I thought this was the easiest game on the spread. I'm taking the Bengals. One thing about NFL, NBA, anything, it's not about who's the best team. It depends who gets hot at the right time. And so far, the Bengals have got hot at the right time. They were decent at best to first half of the year. They have been on a heater for the past couple weeks. Joe Burrow is absolutely slinging the rock. Like Scott said, they have the best wide receiver trio in the league. Joe Mixon is great. Their run defense is great. Their secondary is not to be talked about, but that doesn't matter when the rest of the team is that great. I'm going to take the Bengals, was it plus 1.5?
Yep.
Plus 1.5, and I'm taking the under. I don't think the Bengals will get the over by themselves, and I don't think Josh Allen, with the way he's been playing, is going to put up enough to hit this spread. So I'm taking the Bengals and the under.
I'll jump in. What Coby said is true. Josh Allen is struggling, but he's just got that dog in him. And I'm not going with where you think I'm going.
Great analysis.
He's got that dog.
He's got that dog in him. And that's why the over's going to hit, but it won't be enough in Bengals plus 1.5.
Ooh.
Switch it up on you. Bengals plus 1.5. Josh Allen still get that dog in him, so he'll make it up.
Actually, that means I'm in good hands, if anything.
I'll jump in next. So, like Sam said, like Postman said, this is a pick'em. If any of us acted like we knew exactly what was going to happen, we'd be lying. But all you can do is trust your gut. 2 teams in a cage, 1 comes out.
Hell yeah, I like that.
I think that the Bengals are going to win this game outright. I'll take the plus 1.5 to pick them. I don't want to touch the total here, but I'm going to because I think points are going to end up being scored, even though it's going to be a cold, grinded outside game. I like the over. Give me the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to get hot. They're already hot. They're going to continue to be hot. And they might go on a little run here. The Bengals might be the team you don't want to play right now. So I like the Bengals, and I like the over.
Like Tommy said, I'm going to go with my gut. The Bengals have been on a run for 7 straight wins. They've been playing some easy games the last couple of games. The Patriots, the Bucks, and someone else. I think the Bills, hard team, is going to snap the winning streak, and I have the Bills minus 1.5.
As comes back to me, my favorite segment when I pick winners.
Give us the winner.
I like all your analysis. I mean, Coby was spitting over there. As Sam said, as Postman said, as Tommy said, it's a pick'em game. I agree with all 3 of those. Wonderful gentlemen. I believe that the Bengals are going to win. They are on a heater, as Coby said. When they beat the Chiefs, it was a tough day, but they showed flashes of greatness. And it's going to be a rock fight. It's going to go down to they're going to have to win on the last play. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
And Bengals are going to end up winning this game. No points, no nothing. Just
all right.
Good old-fashioned wins and losses.
Just football, man.
All right. Don't ask yourself who's going to win. Ask yourself who needs this game more. The Bengals have already proven they can be a wild card team and go on the road in the playoffs and win on the road and get to the Super Bowl.
Don't you think they'd like to be at home though?
They've already proven they don't need to have that first round bye because each of these teams is still in contention for having the top overall seed and getting that bye.
Yep.
And whenever the Bills have had to go on the road in the playoffs,
If the Bills win this week, then they clinch.
they've crumbled, and they'll clinch the ones. I think they play the Patriots in the last week, and they'll probably beat them. Sorry, but
They might rest their starters.
I think they'll. No, but I think they're gonna have to clinch it then because they're gonna be tied with the Chiefs as far as the record. But they're in the driver's seat for having the first overall seed and getting the bye. And I think they really want to have the AFC go through the frigid temperatures in Buffalo, and I think they need it more. And Josh Allen has been outplayed this year in every metric. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow has outplayed Josh Allen by every metric this year. He's been a better quarterback for this entire year. I think he deserves some more MVP consideration. It seems like everyone's just handing it to Patrick Mahomes, but I think Joe Burrow's doing an incredible job. But I think the Bills are going to go into Cincy and win because they need the game more. So Bills -1.5 is my pick.
Yeah.
I don't like it though.
If you
Because I think the Bengals are playing better. I don't like it.
I know that the Vikings are in the NFC, so like take that for what it is. But like, say you're in the playoffs, who would you rather see, Bills or Bengals?
The Bills.
Bengals.
The Bills?
The Bills.
Bengals. 100%.
What?
The Bills.
Bills?
The Bills.
Bills are so good.
I don't know, dude.
On
The
the road,
Bengals have so much
Dolphins-
firepower.
Wait, on the road or in the Super Bowl?
Well, it would depend. If it's the Bills, then it's probably going to be in Buffalo, so that is a factor as well.
I mean, the Dolphins beat the Bills week 3 and then almost beat them in Buffalo last week.
I would
I'm not that scared of the Bills.
rather
The thing
play
about
the
the Bengals-
Bills
Right.
because if I have good corners, I know Josh Allen's going to put the ball into tight windows, and we create a couple turnovers, and we should be good.
It's a Josh Allen dependent team.
yeah.
Joe Burrow is ice
Well,
cold.
and the thing about
He
Bengals
doesn't
too,
make that many.
He's icy. What is it?
Joe
Joe
Shiesty.
He's
thing-
coming right off a Super Bowl appearance.
the thing about Bengals,
Well, you just made me not like Joe Shiesty.
Okay, they don't like Joe Shiesty.
No, not
Nobody
him.
really
Nick-
gives a shit.
I think that the Bengals should be the AFC
Go back to
favorite over the Chiefs.
No,
Go back
the thing-
to.
But I think the Chiefs are the favorite on
the thing though is that, like right now as we stand today, the Chiefs are the best team. However, the kryptonite of the Chiefs is the Bengals.
I don't think
so
the
that's
Chiefs
the
are
thing
the
you gotta worry
best
about.
team.
I agree.
Because they lost.
The AFC.
But they lost to both these teams.
They lost, but I mean, look, it's
That's
the
what they
regular
do, though. They
season.
lose regular
It's-
season
yeah.
shootouts and perform in
It's
the
the regular
playoffs.
season. Like teams lose to teams.
They lost to
But
the
the
Rams
Bengals-
that one
the
year.
Bengals-
The Vikings lost to the Cowboys and the Eagles.
You know who
Bengals
Bengals
could totally
lost
beat
to?
the Chiefs in the
You know who
They
Bengals
did it last
lost
year.
to? The
I
Steelers.
agree.
Who suck.
You know, they also lost to the Cowboys with Cooper Rush.
That was the last time that they looked terrible when they lost to Cooper Rush and when Joe Burrow threw 5 picks or whatever against
Josh
Pittsburgh.
threw-
I mean, he looked
Joe
shit
Burrow
against
threw 5
Pittsburgh
picks
week
and
1, but
yeah.
that.
Time for the best part of the show. Locks of the week. Does anybody have one that they want to get off their chest?
Yes, I do.
All right, Jake, go ahead.
Has anyone here ever been like playing a game or something and they just get frustrated and they just quit and they have to walk away from something for a while?
Every day.
That's what the Las Vegas Raiders just did. They just quit. Sean, I know Derek Carr is your guy. He's going to look great in a New York Jets uniform next year. They just gave up. They're like, we want our draft pick. We want Tom Brady in free agency. That's what they're going for. And the 49ers are -10. And we talk about the Bengals on a heater. The Niners are on the hottest of heaters. They are burning. With a 7th-round quarterback, they are flying through people. Give me the Niners -10 against the Vegas Raiders.
Give me the Niners -10, baby. Let's go.
Thank you,
Jake.
Postman.
I don't like.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I don't like double digits.
Josh McDaniels is
Then
trying
take
to
the Raiders.
salvage his
I'm
job,
not taking
baby.
Raiders. I'm just saying.
Take Jarrett Stidham, dude. And Josh never started against Nick
double
Josh.
digits rarely works.
Josh McDaniels is like, you know what? If I don't bench Derek Carr, I might get fired. So
Oh,
let
you
me
wanna-
just throw it.
My lock
Black and
is
gold.
the Seahawks
Oh, okay.
+1.5 over the Jets. The Jets are crumbling. I know Mike White, I think, is back, but I don't care.
Mike White.
Did
I'm
you
not-
think Seahawks last week against Panthers?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm gonna fucking
Seahawks
murder
made
you.
the Chiefs.
You took the Seahawks too.
Did he? Sorry, Sam. But yeah, this is a must-win for the Seahawks, and also a must-win for the Jets, I guess. But yeah, it would help if the Seahawks won for the Steelers. So
Go ahead, Sam.
I guess I might as well follow since Sean just said everything I wanted to say. And I'm taking the Seahawks too because I'm looking at Mike White's stats right now. And I think everyone's thinking, oh, Mike White's back. What a story. It's Mike White. He's awesome. No, he's really not that great. He had a couple good games against the Chicago Bears, whose defense is in shambles. But no one's really paying enough attention to Geno Smith, who's carrying a 102.9 quarterback rating right now.
Dude, he made the Pro Bowl.
Which is pretty ridiculous for the expectations he had coming into this year. I think the Seahawks are a decent football team, and this is a game with huge playoff implications. It's in Seattle. Crowd's going to be going. They're going to have all those earthquake measurements about like how loud the crowd is, how it register as an earthquake. But I think the fact that the Seahawks are the underdog in this game is criminal. And I think they're the much better team here. I think the Jets are still kind of in an inner turmoil in their team because of Zach Wilson and whatever the hell's going on there. I think Robert Saleh needs to look himself in the mirror and get control of his dressing room before they can worry about beating the Seattle Seahawks. So, yeah, Seattle Seahawks is my lock of the week.
I'm just going to give you guys the lock of the week real
Yeah, I was
quick.
going to hear it. Pittsburgh?
Don't need a lot of information.
Pittsburgh?
Everybody knows it's going to happen.
Pittsburgh?
Not Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I don't pick the Steelers,
Baltimore.
but it involves that game. 35 points you might not think is a lot of points, but it's more points than is going to be scored.
Yeah,
this game.
Lamar's not playing.
Steelers-Ravens under 35.5.
It's literally 35.5. You're taking the under.
Yes.
That's wild.
Honestly,
That's
if
actually
the
wild.
total
Ravens
was
Atlanta
like
last week,
25.5, I would probably still take the under.
That's
This
wild.
game is going to be 10 to 12, like maybe 13 to 14.
Whoever gets 12 points first.
Yeah. And it's going to be won on a game-winning field goal drive.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking freezing in this game. 35 points is too many points. Give me the under.
That is absurd.
That's a crazy statement.
That is absurd.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you're wrong, but that's just a crazy thing to pick.
It's going to be 13-10. No,
I agree with that. I'll probably bet on that. I actually like that pick a lot.
Thank you.
And no one else.
I kind of like it too.
Sick. Why are you
It's going to
still
be
here?
fucking 10 to 13, like literally.
All right, so I'm gonna hop in here. I'm also taking an under. I am taking the Falcons Cardinals under. This is a Trace McSorley led Cardinals and a
What's the total?
42.
Oh my god.
And,
yes, that's a great pick.
And a Desmond Ritter led Falcons that has shown he has the arm talent of Soul Surfer.
That's it.
He
Oh
has
my
a,
God.
He has
Cut it out. He had planned that joke for a while.
Oh dear God in heaven, that's terrible.
He has a 59% completion percentage, averages 5 yards a throw, has been sacked 6 times, has thrown 0 career NFL touchdowns. He's been awful so far. I liked him at Cincinnati. He has not done it at all in Atlanta. I mean, they're missing Calvin Ridley, but he wasn't part of the team. He's not part of the team no more. He's been god awful. The Falcons are god awful. The Cardinals are fighting for absolutely nothing. Maybe a high draft pick.
Yeah.
Trace McSorley is just about as good as me. There's no way. There's no way 42 points get scored. If both teams scored 3 touchdowns, I don't know what I would do.
Yes.
There's absolutely no shot. This was the first game I looked at when looking for locks. I saw the total and I did not look at one single other game. Unders have been killing it for the locks and me so far. My under hit last week.
Yeah, that's the best way to hit lock.
Yeah, it's the best way. So, yeah, there's absolutely no chance that the elite quarterback matchup of Trace McSorley and Desmond Ritter gets over 42 points. So that's got to be the easiest lock for me.
Barry McCockner called him Trace McSorley lacking talent.
Trace McSorley. Dude, he got a good song though.
Yeah.
Better than
That's a good pick. Like, shitty quarterback matchups, especially in fucking, like, I mean, that game, not really, but, like, freezing cold games, especially. And Lamar's not
And they're
playing.
2 elite teams.
Yeah.
Huntley's pretty good, though.
2 elite, high-scoring offenses.
Yeah.
Steelers and the
2
Ravens.
absolute
Like,
killers.
Wait, so is it Scott? Is it Scott go?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Scott.
I'll jump in here. Well, we're talking about the under. I'm going to go with this one. Under 42.5 points in the Niners and Raiders game. I saw this one, and I didn't look back, Coby, because when you put Jared Stidham as your QB1 now, and now you're looking going, that team is now going up against the number 1 defense in the NFL with the 49ers. That is a terrifying sight for the Raiders. I do not see them putting up a whole lot of points at all in this one. Nick Bosa leads the NFL with 17.5 sacks. I would nearly bet the house on it that he's going to get another couple this weekend. So I really, really like the 49ers defense in this game. I think they're going to have a fantastic explosive performance, and I'm not really buying. I get the pick. I think Jake said he was going to go with the 10-point spread for the 49ers, but I kind of want to see Brock Purdy come from a couple scores behind and see if he's got what it takes to really sling it out there. I've seen him throw it.
Give him some adversity. Give him some adversity.
I don't think he's going to have any in this game.
Not in this game. I just think 10 points is an awful lot for a guy I haven't seen just yet. I want to see how that offense gets on when it's really tried and tested. But I still think it's a good pick. But I really like the under of this one. I think it's going to hit it. And, the Raiders are just an absolute free fall at the moment. And what a great time to go for the other way and pick a team that's red hot. So, 49ers, under 42.5 points. I think that game's definitely going to hit the under. So, yeah. Jeez, the boys are all rolling with the under this week.
I love that pick. I know all too well about Jared Stidham, and that is a great pick.
The only thing I'm worried about for that is the 49ers might hit that themselves. Literally.
That's the only way that's hitting. That's the
they might.
That's the only. I think.
We also as well. Sorry, who's playing in the Fantasy Football Championship? Shout out to those two gentlemen.
Who's it? Rodney and Cam?
Rodney and Cam.
How the hell is Rodney?
No, he beat me by 0.7. By 0.7. I'm so salty. It's not even funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
0.7.
Sandy, who's the team you like the most this week?
My lock is a future bet. Yale Ivy League Championships
2023.
It's the biggest lock. It's the best locking in to ever have. We're gonna have a crazy offseason.
But he doesn't endorse gambling, don't count.
No. But outright Ivy League champs.
Outright Ivy League champs 2023. It's the best lock you can have.
Thank you for joining us this week. Everybody want right?
Woo.
Like and subscribe. Let's enjoy some Week 17 football. Some very important divisional matchups. Dolphins, Patriots might be game of the week. Maybe Bills, Bengals. Steelers, Ravens, Monday night or Sunday night football. They flexed the fucking Broncos out of Sunday night football. How are the Broncos on primetime again?
Broncos
like 4 weeks in a row.
Remember when Jake Lewis said Russell Wilson was a top 10 quarterback?
He said he was number 7. Everybody keep that in mind. Jake Lewis said that Russell Wilson was the 7th best quarterback in the NFL. Keep that in mind.
He's a 33rd. He also did say Justin Jefferson was on pace to be the greatest wide receiver ever. And you know what? Credit to him.
I mean, that's a fan pick.
I
would say the same shit if I had Justin Jefferson on my team.
It's a fan pick. It's a fan pick. We will revisit Jake's quarterback list, I think, after next week.
Yeah. Just talk about your shitty quarterback list.
Speak of the devil.
Going into the playoffs, we'll probably review Jake's top 20 quarterbacks.
It's not. Actually, at the top, it's decently accurate.
I mean, Derek Carr was in there. It was top 10, and he's no longer starting quarterback in the NFL, so there was one of them.
I think Stidham's going to play about a quarter and a half, and they're going to throw Carr back in there. I don't think they're going to.
I think they'll probably not even dress
He's
Carr.
not.
Yeah.
They already said he's not.
They're going to throw someone else. I don't think Stidham's going to play a full game.
We'll see.
There's no shot.
Well, Nick Bosa is going to sack him 5 times.
There was like a couple months over the summer where like Jared Stidham was going to be your quarterback going forward, and then you guys just drafted Mac Jones.
That was the month I cried myself to sleep every night.
Yeah.
So.
No, they signed Cam, and then Cam.
No, like after Cam left, Stidham was still there, and they were like, "Yeah, it's gonna be Stidham," and then they drafted a quarterback. Either way,
That's how you trick the other teams and trick the media. Cause.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Seamus. Like and subscribe.